Imagine with me the night. The air is still, the world silent. I close my eyes and I whispered the names of people I've never met, but feel as though I've always known. And when I opened my eyes, it was still night. Time wasn't making sense. The next remembering. Catalina, are you even listening right now? Catalina, you are in the middle of a ritual of purified food and drink. High Priestess Itzel is standing right in front of you. Her hands are outstretched over a buffet table of food. Magical energy swirling around her fingers. And she's looking right at you. She then takes a big clay bowl, scoops it into the water and hands that to you. And then she says, take this water that has been blessed to the fountain in the festival square. You already know this, don't you? Catalina. The image of High Priestess Itzel starts to fade a little bit right in front of you, and you start to hear whispers in your mind. The whispers that you've been hearing for a while. Words that you can't quite make out, but this time there's a different kind of urgency to them, as if there's a desperation. And a word does start to come clear. Whoosh. Come. It's your time. High Priestess Itzel was talking, but you didn't quite catch what she was saying, and you can gather that she was going on about. So remember, you take the water that's been blessed, and you take it where?
To the fountain in the square.
Okay.
High Priestess Itzel, I just have a question. Why is this task for me?
She stops. You noticed her breathing was a little bit shallow and a little bit harried, and she takes a slow, deeper breath, looks at you. Give me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, man. No! 6.
You're not sure. You know that she was just breathing a little bit rapidly. It seemed a little bit harried, and now she seems to have calmed down. You don't know if she's actually calm or if she's annoyed, or you can't quite get a read on her at this moment. But she looks at you, and the moment seemed to be taking longer than you're accustomed to, the way that she's taking you in and looking at you and regarding you. And then she starts to walk away, and she turns around as she's taken like 5 steps towards the southeast. And she then turns around and says, well, are you coming with me?
Yes.
You can set that bowl down for now.
Okay. I'm going to set it down very gently.
And she leads you to the southeast alcove and stands in front of wisdom. What does this mean to you? She says, as she's standing in front of this humanoid figure that has their head to one side, looking towards what appears to be rays of light that are spreading outside of their body. And on the opposite side are wispy shadows.
I think it's the pursuit of understanding. Because if you don't know things, you're in the dark, shadowy part. And if you do know things, you're in the light, enlightenment part.
She's nodding her head yes. Catalina, what it means is choices. You're on the right track. Of course, we must seek to choose the good over the bad. And she gestures to the side with the light emanating from the figure, and then to the shadowy wisps on the opposite side. Then she looks at you, and she steps a little bit closer to the relief. She extends her hand to you as if asking you to place your hand in hers.
I put my hand in hers.
You notice her hands are rough and calloused and worn. Hands of a high priestess that have clearly experienced what it feels like deep labor. She takes her hand, and with hers, she traces the rays of light that are emanating off of the side of this figure, wisdom, the side of light. Traces one ray of light, and then another. Choices, as I said, but if you look closely, you'll see that there's so much more to it than that. The discernment to know which choice among the many needs your focus. Catalina, solving people's minor problems cannot come at the expense of the task that needs your true attention.
But I like helping the people.
I know you do. It's one of your many gifts. But sometimes there's something bigger happening that needs your focus, and sometimes you're going to have to tell people no. I watch you take the water to the fountain, and I see how much you help everybody, and the people in Alma love you so much for that. But sometimes it's not the right place for it. Sometimes you have to tell them not right now.
Okay. So it's a test?
It's a lesson.
I have one more question.
Yes.
Was the mother a real person?
Was the mother a real person?
Did she live among us?
Give me another insight.
Oh boy. All right, I'm not rolling you. You did bad last time. Come on, baby, you can do this. Ooh, that is a 23.
You see her eyes she really goes inward with this question. Why do you ask that?
I just realized I'd never asked it before.
The mother, which is the primary deity that is given homage to in Alma, the statue of her is at the center. And even from here in the alcove, you can see the statue towards the center, and it rotates around the room. Slowly. Well, what do you think, Catalina?
I don't know. She seems so powerful. It almost feels like it wouldn't be fair if she was real.
I'll tell you what I think.
Please.
And I don't often do this. I do this, I will tell you, because I promise me one thing. Catalina, what I really need for you, what I really long for you, is for you to find your own answers. I don't want you to treat mine as though it is the right one. I I don't know. But I want her to have been real. And I want to believe that what we acknowledge in her is perhaps there's a piece of that in each of us. So perhaps it doesn't matter as much if she were a real person outside of us, but rather what she represents is something real within us.
Okay.
But I fear I've already said too much. I don't want you to take that as though it is the only truth. I want you to find yours.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot to do. It is the Festival of Abundance is upon us after all, and so I'm going to go back and attend to a couple of other things.
One more thing, sorry, before you go. Are we prepared today?
I think we're heading towards that.
Okay. Is there anything that I can do, besides get the water to the fountain, of course, that can help us be more prepared for today?
I think when Elder Adhan calls us towards the gift, I think just be there ready to participate.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, High Priestess.
And then she gives you a nod and she walks away.
It's the same day. Oh my God.
As you're saying that, perhaps unaware of you saying that slightly out loud, you do notice in your periphery someone else starting to step forward looking at you, and you recognize the dark curly hair, and Arden moves into your view. Hi.
Hi.
Do you need help?
Yeah,
I've already done the you don't have to, the reliefs have already been cleaned. So
Thank
if
you.
she's asked you to do that, then you don't
No,
need to do any
I'm
of that.
supposed to bring the water to the fountain, as is my choice. How are you feeling today, Arden? You look very nice.
I feel, I don't know. I kind of feel, I didn't sleep well. I don't
Oh
think.
no.
And the Festival of Abundance is always just like, I just feel this pressure, but you have to take the water,
Yeah.
right?
Did you sleep in your own bed last night?
Did I? What do you mean? Did
I'm just if you weren't comfortable, maybe it was because you weren't sleeping in your own bed last
as
night.
far as I know, I woke up in my own
Okay,
bed.
then
Why,
great.
Did I,
No. I just was checking. I don't know.
I sleepwalk sometimes.
Do you
so,
sleepwalk sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know
Since
that.
I was a kid, and I
did
haven't
not know
done
that.
it. I mean,
I won't tell
sleepwalk for a
anybody.
little while, but
Your secret's
was I
with me.
sleepwalking?
I don't think so. I don't know. I was just because you just no.
I slept naked.
No,
I
oh my
hope I
gosh,
wasn't
wait, oh my gosh,
sleepwalking.
okay.
I always sleep naked. It's sort
okay.
of, I'm gonna walk away from you right
yeah,
now. I was gonna
that's fine.
offer
Yes.
to
Okay.
do if you want me to. She's busy, but High Priestess Itzel is busy.
No, it's
I
fine.
was gonna do the water thing.
Thank you for doing that.
if you
Oh
have
no, I'm
something
gonna
else
do
that you
it.
need to
I'm gonna do it because I
Okay.
have to, because it is my test. And then I will get you a piragua on the way back.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You look very nice today.
You look very nice every day.
Okay, sorry, I'll see you in a bit. And then I leave.
And as you go back to the clay bowl, pick up the that bowl that has that blessed water in, you start to head out towards the temple. From there, we move to Koja. Koja, you feel a bright light flash for a moment, and then it fades away, and then you find yourself looking at a bed of flowers at Doña Matilda's house. On the ground next to you are tiles of a mosaic that you are in the middle of putting together for Doña Matilde. And you remember a maracuya vine, passion fruit, newly planted here, frail and struggling. Can you give me a nature check just as things start to come into focus?
That's an 8.
Oh,
8.
it's a healthy 8.
A nice robust 8.
Your eyes fall on this frail, struggling maracuya vine, and your mind takes you somewhere else again, to the vine that you just planted in honor of your brother that had passed away recently. And you recall that vine struggling. But you can't quite recall what it looked like this morning, what it looked like yesterday, and you are suddenly flooded with a knowing. You've been neglecting it. And you come back here and you look upon the vine that's right in front of you, but it's different. Two things stand out to you, Koja, in this moment. The first is the sounds of people in the town, full of joy and excitement and laughter. The second is the passion fruit vine in front of you. Because you remember how weak it looked, but the one in front of you looks strong. Its vines look thicker, greener. It's starting to firmly grow along the wall of this adobe house. Give me another nature check at advantage.
That's an 18.
Nice.
18. On the back of your mind, you still have the vine dedicated to your brother. But in front of you, you see what you recall would have been a mirror of that one. And you see a momentary trace of magical energy wisp around the vine and around your fingers, almost like an echo of a druid craft. Well done, Koja. I knew you had it in you. You hear Odessa's voice standing behind you. It sounds a little different. She sounds a little older. What do you do?
Koja is overwhelmed, to say the least, at all of this, closes his eyes, and just asks quietly, Doña Lesa, what day is it today?
Well, it is it's the beginning of the Festival of Abundance.
That cannot be. What would you say if I told you that I've lived this day before?
Roll for me persuasion.
Are you sure? And that is a very powerful 2.
So you turn to Odessa, you ask this question, and you see her face melt from this kind of like surprised, almost pride. You can tell that she was pleasantly surprised to come upon what she just saw. And then it turns and she looks at you. She looks at you up and down. She sees tiles in your hands and she reaches into her pocket and her hand stays there for a little while. She's ruffling around with something. What do you mean, Koja? You mean that you are you, what are you saying?
I know. Doña Lesa, I know this sounds absolutely bizarre. I have lived this day before. And this day does not end well.
Koja. And she pulls her hand out. You can tell that there's something inside of it, but she is not revealing what it is. She has it cupped inside of her other hand. Koja, I understand that you are, and you finally take in her appearance. And her hair is now completely gray.
What? Okay.
Koja, I understand that you have experienced a great loss, mijo, and I grief sometimes does that for us. It makes us feel like it's the same day again and again because it's hard to find your way out. And I know that you will. And she then takes your hand that has the tiles in it, and she just kind of gently takes those tiles out, puts them on the ground. Now's not really the time for work, Kosha. And she puts in your hand a cocadito, one of those coconut cookies that she is known to hand out, her and some of the other elders as well. I wish I had the right words, Kosha. I know how much your brother meant to you, but he's still here. He's still here with you.
Thank you, Doña. You're right, this is not the time for work. Thank you.
And she sees you sort of struggling, and then she just leans in and gives you a very grandmotherly kiss on the forehead.
Aww.
And then she gives you a squeeze on your shoulder, and she says, you don't have to find the right words right now, Kosha. Sometimes there are no words for that kind of grief.
I grab her by the shoulders, and I look directly into her eyes, and I just want her to understand what Koja is saying to her when Koja says, I will be taking your lessons. I will be taking your lessons. There will be a tomorrow. And then I let go, disengage from that conversation, and I'm running to find Juancho, the little child.
Aha. You leave her almost stunned and beaming, and you take off in search of Juancho. From there, we go back to Catalina.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your way with a bowl in your hands, and you see the Piragua man trying to get your attention, and you see in the distance a number of other people, children playing. You see Talo, who has another booth, stands out to you this time. And you recall Talo dying at the gift. And you recall who he was, the leather worker, the bark cloth worker. He hasn't noticed you at first, but he does catch your look, gives you a wave, and he goes back to tending to his leather works and his the different clothing that he has. And you notice his daughter, and occasionally he will turn to look at her, Naya, and will give her some instruction. What do you do?
Oh man, I think I look into the bowl, and I look at my own reflection, because I think I'm still in shock that this is happening, and I think I just need like a second to ground myself to be like, I am still here in this moment, and these people are still alive. And then I think it occurs to me that then maybe we can make it better this time. That maybe we can get more people out. And if I can just get this water to the fountain, I can go think and prepare and figure out how to protect as many people as possible.
So you keep moving through the crowd?
Yes, I think I keep moving through the crowd. I want to get this task done. I don't want to waste any time, so that I can get some piragua for Arden, and then I can get some supplies or something.
And you do that. You keep moving through the crowd, and you notice there are some people that seem to try to get your attention. Children running by, people waving at you. The Piragua man acknowledges you and sees you walk by. You
I'll be back later!
Okay, mija. And you see people feeling a little bit surprised. I want you to roll for me.
Oh man.
Give me a performance check.
Okay, you got it. Let's see here. All right. You got this, baby. Oh, I don't got it. It's a 9.
It doesn't mean that you fail. It just, what it's dictating is the amount of focus and how hard this is for you.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
I'm curious, what is it about this that makes it difficult? What is it about these people and how they have this tendency to pull your attention away from what you're set out to do? What is happening? What is this about?
I think Catalina loves everybody and feels a deep sense of pride in being needed. And when someone has a problem that she can easily solve or quickly solve or what she thinks will be a quick solve, she just gives herself over to that task. And then what inevitably happens is that task is much more complicated typically. Or that task will lead to another task, which will lead to another task. And then she realizes that her whole day has gone by and she hasn't actually gotten any of the things that she needs to get done because she has gotten things done for everybody else in her town.
And that is actually what's sort of running in your mind is you're making these realizations. Why is it that I try to help these people? Oh, I get so much out of being useful to them and wanting to help make them all this stuff is moving to your mind. Next thing you know, you're in front of the fountain.
And I just pour it into the fountain. I do a little bow. I just like, just get it, just do it. And then you can go and then you can get on with your day. And then I turn back around, or I give a little bow.
And in that moment, when you are face to face with the statue, you see her almost looking right at you. The statue in the festival square. And you start to see almost these wisps of energy moving around the statue. It's not the first time you feel like you've acknowledged something like this. And then everything around you starts to go quiet. The joy that's happening in the festival square. It is, after all, the festival of abundance. It dims. You feel something inside of you start to almost pull itself out. And you look down, and in this pale, translucent light, you see, as if it's coming out of your own chest, what looks like a butterfly. From there, we go to Leo. Leo. You feel a bright light flash for a moment and then it fades away, and you are on the southern outskirts of Alma, looking upon the tree line of the jungle ahead of you, which marks where the wilds beyond Alma begin, the hunting grounds. You remember this moment. You remember being here. You remember waiting for Eliseo to arrive. You remember hearing his footsteps and hearing his voice. And you almost hear that again right now. Can I have a wisdom check, please?
Ooh, 20.
Nice.
20. You are able to parse what's happening right now. Last time you were here, you recall hearing Eliseo come upon you and say something that made you feel like you were late and he was waiting for you. You turned around and you looked for him. You couldn't find him. This time, it's as if you were ready for that moment before it happened. You almost hear that play out exactly as it did. And had you not been so focused, it would have been impossible for you to discern if this were happening in this moment or if this were a remembering of what you feel like had already happened. You know distinctly you're remembering what happened last time, and right now, it is absolutely not what's happening. You're able to trace. At this moment, he was approaching. I heard his footsteps. You remember the confident way that he would step, heavy footsteps that he knows would give away his presence, because you also know how he is capable of hiding it as a hunter. No Eliseo there, and no whispers of his voice. All you have is remembering that it had happened before.
In that case, I know what comes after that, and I am turning. And do I see anyone coming down from my house?
Not quite yet.
Do I want to also reach into my pocket. Do I have anything there from the night before?
What are you looking for specifically?
I had pulled a paper out from Eliseo's house that I had folded up and pocketed.
You notice two things. A short sword that you feel should have been on you is not on you. And you go into your pocket where you expect to feel a piece of paper, and it's there.
It is there. Oh God. Okay. The first thing I'm gonna do, I need to run to my house to see. I don't know what's going on. I feel the paper there. I don't hear anything around me. I woke up in the forest line, and I think, I have no idea what day it is. No one's around me. And so I'm going first to my house. If it's the closest, whatever the closest building is, if it's my house. Otherwise, if I'm closer to going to Eliseo's, I want to book it in that direction.
Your house is closer. The ranch is on the southern part of Alma, and you start to run towards your house. And after a couple of moments, you do see in the distance your father coming out. And starting to run towards your direction. You actually catch him looking around. His hands kind of go up to his head and he's like gesturing and he's just full of energy. And then he turns in your direction and sees you and starts running towards you, and you hear him shouting, Leo, it's happening.
Dad! And I'm running, and as soon as I get to him, I want to throw my arms around his neck and hug him and be like, oh my God, you're alive. You're alive.
Mija, of course I'm alive. What do you mean
I don't know what just happened. I don't know what's happening, but oh my God, you're alive. And I'm just touching his face. Does he smell real? Does he smell like what I'm used to my dad smelling?
Give me an
Terrifying.
investigation check.
Terrifying.
Investigation.
Investigation or perception. I'll let you.
No.
Perception
Yeah.
is still terrible, but 9.
You're smelling him, you're feeling him. It's different. An investigation is trying to put clues together, but this is also trying to perceive with your smell and your touch. And so it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. He smells like him. He's sweating, he's out of breath. And you feel an excitement from him. And he touches you back, and he catches your hands as your hands are on his face. He touches your hands, and he looks at you, and he says, "Are you okay, Mija?"
I have no idea what's going on. And this is gonna sound very strange, but can you just stay in the house for now? Can you just go in the house and wait for me and lock the doors and don't leave until I come back?
Mija, is there something happening? Is there something? Are the hunters? Is there something that the hunters are preparing for?
I don't know. And she starts to sort of study herself. Her mind is sort of racing about what to do. But you just have to trust me and stay home.
Roll for me a persuasion check.
Oh, man.
With advantage, because I'm his daughter and he loves me.
She's learning. She's learning
She
about
is learning.
negotiating.
I love it. For now, just a...
Well, doesn't matter, that's a 20.
Oh, 20! Nice.
Yes.
I don't high five the players.
That's okay, that's why we have each other.
Secretly trying to kill you. Wow, with the 20. I don't know. You know your father well. But there's something about when you really fully absorb someone in a moment. Sometimes when you know somebody really well, we tend to take for granted some of the things that they do, some of the tells that they might have, because we know them too well that we automatically start to make assumptions, whether we mean to or not. Right here, right now, as you're assessing this person in front of you, wondering if he's real, if this is real, and the danger of what happened before comes to mind, and the body of your father on the ground, lifeless. But what's before you right now is him living, breathing, excited. And you can tell that he is absorbing you in the same way. There is something about you that is landing in a way that is more full than has ever happened before. And his hands that are on top of yours as they were touching his face, they come down and he holds his hands, he holds your hands in front of him and he says, Mia, I have no idea what it is that you're worried about, but I have never seen you like this before. If there's a kind of danger out there right now, then I know as a hunter, it is requiring your attention immediately. I will stay here.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too, Mia.
And the minute he says that, I'm feeling the paper, I am booking it to Eliseo's house, and I'm yelling as I run, Eliseo!
Oh my God.
And I'm just running. As I can to him.
He stays behind you, stunned, watching you leave. And as you get further away, he calls out to you, by the way, the alpaca, she had her baby.
Call it Nico!
Okay.
That's awesome.
And then you can, if you turn back, you look, you see him go back inside.
Oh my gosh.
Call it Nico.
Okay.
From there, we move to Neza.
Neza.
Ay.
Neza.
Neza, you feel a bright light flash for a moment and then it fades away. And when your vision comes to, you find that you are holding a candle, staring at its unlit wick, and you can see the light of 1,000 candles dancing off the walls of the cenote and bouncing off of the pool of water that is at its center. What do you do?
I light the candle, I place it down, and I leave immediately.
Oh, yes. Yes.
As you leave, do you look at your grandfather?
Nope.
Roll for me a...
Yes.
Whew, a charisma check.
I think it's just +3.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of charisma.
19.
Oh, yeah.
I would like for you to describe to me where your conviction is in this moment as you make this choice and what moves through your mind knowing full well that you've just walked away from your grandfather.
That he's already gone, that I went through this once, that I smelled the candle before it was lit, that I'm keenly aware of all of the people staring at me right now, the memories, that they are somehow alive, even if they're gone, that I sent them to their rest and they're still here. And the thing that I remember first is that I put my hand through that fractal shattering. And I think whatever was on the other side of that is real, and this isn't.
You're moving through the cenote, you get to the platform, and as you're thinking about this, you see something happen. You look back at the cenote as you start to pulley yourself up on the platform, and you start to see traces of silvery blue wisps gathering around the walls of the cenote. And some of them start to become very clear as what you see pulls into focus. You see dozens upon dozens upon dozens of wispy forms and ghostly faces leaning out of the walls of the cenote, and they're looking right at you. I require an insight check.
Require?
Yeah.
What do you mean require?
18.
18. One in particular stands out to you. And it's a wisp looks feminine, long hair. And you know who this is. It comes clear. It's Elitsa's mother.
Yeah.
She's leaning out of the tomb where she's been laid to rest. And she looks at you. And suddenly her face, although still silvery blue and wispy, it becomes very focused. The lines of her face become clear and sharp. The shape of her eyes become clear and sharp. And the expression behind them becomes clear. She looks at you and she nods, yes. And then she puts a wispy hand onto her chest over her heart and gives you a second nod as she turns and goes right back into the wall. And all these other wisps that have leaned out also return.
Oh my God.
You make your way to the top. Nobody's there yet.
Well, I wasn't looking for Elitsa. I am going home. I think there are a few, the thought that keeps going through his mind is we're already gone. This is already done. And Elitsa's mother reminded me of my grandmother. And I think back to the ferocity with which she trained me for just a short period of time, inexplicably to me. I didn't know why she was training. I didn't know what she was training me for. I had no idea why she was a warrior and why she hid it when she came here. And then I remember her armor and her weapon.
Oh.
And I don't know where it is, but I know it's at home, and I know that my grandfather Cheho hid it and kept, not necessarily they hid it, but kept it somewhere safe. And I make my way to the yurt, to my home to find it. And I'm scared that also I remember that I fell asleep holding the dead body of the woman I love in that yurt. And then I push that back because I need my tools.
As all of this is running through your mind and you're remembering your grandmother and the warrior that she was and the lineage that she represents. That lineage of a people that are not from Alma. As you're heading towards that yurt, back to your home, you hear a whisper. As you have often heard. You can't quite make sense of it. But as you're heading back home, you can almost feel as if the sky opened up for a moment and sun rays started to pour down. Give me a wisdom check.
That one.
Oh.
What's real right now? What isn't? Is this reality? Is the actual reality on the other side of that barrier that you had reached into? Is this just another mind game? But whether it is or whether it isn't, you can see a bright beam of sun, almost as if it's guiding your way home. And the voice becomes clear. Maybe not for the first time, but in a way unlike it ever has. And it says, Coyote. Koja. It takes you no time. You remember where Juancho was, sitting down, upset, crying. You remember the vicinity, and you find him again. He's sitting down, his knees are tucked into his body, and he has this broken toy. The Arapaima toy with the trigger that causes the Arapaima fish to open its mouth and all of its babies to come out and then pop back in when you release the trigger. He's sobbing. He's looking at his toy and he's just like, what do you do?
I have a question. May I do an insight check as I'm commuting, running towards Juancho to check my surroundings to see if there's anything different?
Yes, absolutely. I will say that you have enough time from where you were at Doña Matilda's to where you're heading near the Festival Square and the Market Square. You have enough time to give me 2 checks. Give me a perception check and an insight check.
Oh my God.
Let's see here. Okay, that was both 5.
Both
Wow, powerful 5. Hey, get him out early.
Yeah, seriously.
Uh,
It's a 10 if you had them.
Listen, I know, right? If you add them together, it's a 10. You're just you have tunnel vision. Everyone else around you, what happens is you can feel the joy, the exuberance, and there's absolutely no sense of danger, no sense that anything is, it's exactly as you remember it from before. In your mind, though, is not enough space to take all that in.
Right.
All you have is Juancho. All you have is this kid.
Now, when I'm looking at Juancho, may I do an insight check to see if he looks older specifically?
Yeah, show me how you approach him. Walk me through how you approach him.
So as I'm sort of clambering my way, I am running over here, and it's less like a lot of how Quolla activates in this town is a little bit, he's very aware of his size. So a lot of it is like he navigates this world trying to take as little space as possible because he does want to feel like an invisible person. You know, he's the person who does tasks. He's in the background of a lot of scenes that happen, you know? So he's very like aware of how big he is and is always trying to, not in this scenario. He's fully running more orc than ever. It's primal. It's like messy, it's nasty, you know, it's scary to Quolla too. Quolla's also very scared of that sort of like animal side fully taking over. There's a moment where he catches Juancho, and then the thought of running over to him, already crying, as a monster, catches him, activates the sort of like rational brain in him. He slows down, takes a breath, and approaches Juancho with kindness.
Ooh.
And then I say, Juancho, give me that toy.
And he barely opens his eyes, and they're these giant saucers of bread. He's been crying so much at this point that it's all like bloodshot, and he looks right up at you and then just lunges at you and gives you a hug again. And he says, Quolla, my toy is broken and I don't know what. I told my brother and he said he was gonna fix it, but he never did. And I don't know what to do. And the sobs take over. And just as you remember, the breathing is completely chaotic. And falling from his hands onto the ground is that toy.
Just like I did the day prior, which is the same day, I hold his shoulder just to know that there's a presence there. I bend down, I grab the toy. And this time, I do use mending to fix the toy.
Character development.
Growth, baby.
Yes.
What does mending look like when you conjure that energy?
It's exactly the way Doña Odessa taught me. In the same sort of hand movements that she did before. This feels practiced, this feels easy. It's an idea of letting go, shutting off my brain, and just letting nature behave.
You take a breath and you feel this magical energy. It gathers at your fingertips, but maybe for the first time you feel where it starts. And you think it's starting somewhere closer to your chest, but then as you trace that further, you feel that it's actually starting, well, maybe not through your chest, maybe maybe it's starting down lower at your feet? No, it's starting somewhere underneath the earth. And you draw this magical energy forward, dancing around your fingertips, and just gently floats these wisps of greenish magical light, dances around the broken toy, and then it looks like as if it's brand new. Something else happens. That sensation of being connected to something underneath the earth, it lingers for a moment longer, and you feel a pull. Imagine as if you had roots that just grew into the ground and they made contact with something else, and underneath the ground, it tugged you in two different directions. Do you turn towards the east or do you turn towards the west?
Oh, gosh. In this moment, there is so much happening. I have a job to do, and I need to look into this later. I fight the pull. I
Excellent.
push.
Where is your focus instead that helps you remain
Yes.
here and not torn between those two other
I feel
polarities?
that pull, and I go right back to the force that's been hugging me the whole time. The thing that is literally rooting me into this spot, into the present. I look at Juancho, and I give him the toy. And then I say this, Juancho, here's your toy.
Okay.
Juancho, I need you to listen to me. I need you to do me a favor. Go speak with the other boys in Alma, and I want you to cause mischief. I want you to cause trouble. I want the adults to be mad.
Why?
Fucking chess.
It will not make sense to you, but can you do this as a favor to me?
He looks up at you, and I imagined you being up here. He looks up at you and looks back down at his toy, and he pulls the trigger, and it works beautifully. And then the look that meets your eyes after that.
Amazing.
What kind of mischief?
I want you to play. Play like there's no repercussions.
Okay.
Break things.
Break
Push
things?
things. Destroy things. Things, pretty things. Things that are important.
He takes off.
Good. And I also take off, but this time I go to the blacksmith.
Yes.
Excellent. You see him taking off, and he starts to go to another group of kids that are playing with different variety of different puppets, axolotl puppets and arapaima puppets, and he is already gathering them together. There's a look in his eyes that you remember as he took off. And at the gift, the hardness that was behind his eyes and his face when you witnessed his innocence disappear, you see, I can't say the opposite of that, because in this instance, as well as in that one, what you saw is a glimmer of the man that he might become. And that is the one common denominator, is in this one. And as you see him gathering up his friends, for a moment you see the leader that he could one day be.
Oof. Goosebumps.
And you head towards Teo.
Oh my God.
Brilliant.
That's so brilliant. Oh my God.
As you're heading towards Teo, Catalina, where are you at this point?
I'm looking at this butterfly.
Oh, this butterfly emerging from your chest. We go back to you. You see that butterfly, and it almost wants to leap out of you, and then it goes right back inside you.
No, come back. Oh, I'm
Are you,
sorry.
are you okay? Arden is right next to you.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
You did this. This was the fastest I've ever seen you do this task.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
I think everything is going to change for you from here on out.
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. Today specifically. Do you want to get piragua?
And he pulls out 2 scoops. He had one hand behind his back, and he already has one in passion fruit flavor and one lulo.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
his favorite.
And he hands you your passion
Thank
fruit.
you. What are you doing here?
Well, I just was curious because you were, these are good, aren't they?
These are really good.
Yeah.
He really outdid himself today.
I know this seems really weird because I realized that it seems like I followed you here, and the truth is that I did, and I know that doesn't make me look good. But I just, I overheard you and the high priestess talking, and so the short story is that I saw you really just focus and move like the wind, and it made me actually worried. Oh. Do you have somewhere you need to be?
No. Maybe no. Arden, have you ever thought that you lived a day before?
No.
Okay.
I've had this though. I have had a day where I was like, did I even live yesterday at all? I don't remember what I did.
It's okay.
Like, you try to think of what you did 3 days ago. Because when you're on the spot, you can't remember it.
Totally. Yeah.
Koja, as you're moving towards Teos, describe the manner with which you move. Is it as gentle as you left?
Heck no.
Or is it back to?
Yes, back to beast mode.
Yeah, beast mode.
Beast mode, Koja.
In this moment between you and Arden, the conversation has stopped as you see right in front of you Koja just barreling through across the festival square.
Goody. Maybe. Arden, do you want to go on a field trip?
Let's go.
Okay, we're following Koja. And we're gonna follow Koja.
Okay. Koja heading towards Teo. And Catalina with Arden in tow, following Koja.
That's so funny.
From there, we go back to Leo. You are heading towards Eliseo's.
Yes.
You get there without a problem. There is, again, reverberating in the atmosphere is that joy and that exuberance that's just emanating from the people of Alma. As you were heading there, what's running through your mind?
What's running through my mind is right now, with the only context I have, I have had some sort of vivid dream, premonition, experience that I cannot quite put my finger on if it was real or imagined or something spiritual. And all I know is that the thing that I grabbed last night, or what felt like last night, is still in my pocket, and that's the only through line physically that I have to what happened. Plus the fact that I remember I kept hearing Eliseo's voice in my head. So I'm like, he must have some explanation or must be responsible for something that's happened.
And as that's running through your mind, you find suddenly at Eliseo's home. Give me a perception check.
12.
It's easy for you to take note of the following. The door is open just as it was when you found it before. And from out here, it doesn't seem like anyone's there.
So 2 things. I definitely want to open it. Again, I'm not even knocking. I'm just slamming it open. And if it's as empty as I saw it, I want to sort of quickly turn back outside and see if I notice footsteps or any sense of like direction, because we're on a sort of dirt ground ish. So any sort of direction that I could have some sense of if he went somewhere, if he slept here, if he was here, or if he's just been gone this whole time and this is like a pointless thread that I'm following.
First, let's go with an investigation check as you come inside and assess what may or may not be there.
Investigation. Okay, 14.
Nice.
14. So you come inside and you start to clock this very quickly. it's exactly the same as when you came in before. The drawers that are open in the same exact way. The bed is unmade in the same exact way. There's one thing that's missing. The paper that you found that is in your pocket is not where you initially found it. And the note that you left isn't there.
Is not there.
No.
Okay.
Do you want to spend more time following up on what you're noticing on the inside, or do you turn your attention to the outside?
No, I think my immediate reaction to that would be like, okay, he's not here. Or he must have been here and left. I've missed him again. Mm-hmm. That's sort of my thought. And so I'm going back outside and doing sort of a quick scan of not the horizon, but as far as I can see to see if I see his silhouette or if he's walking or any footsteps, like I said, anything that would point me in any direction.
Survival check, please.
4. Always when it matters, you know?
You are correct in how you described the topography at this point. It's towards the center of Alma at the festival square where the hard-packed dirt roads on the outside start to transition into more meticulously laid out bricks. Mm-hmm. And at this part of the town, the roads are still dirt, but they are hard-packed and have experienced a good amount of foot traffic over the years. Because of that foot traffic, it's hard to find trails like you're accustomed to finding when you're out in the wilds.
Okay.
The softer dirt leaves evidence of people that have come and gone much more easily than this hard-packed dirt. You don't know.
Yeah. So Leo, I think, gets very frustrated at the fact that she feels like she missed him, like that he was here because her note's not there and now he's not. So, but I don't want to waste any more time. And so my mind goes back to my friends that I had met, compatriots, friends, colleagues, I don't know what we were by the end, but, and so peers, my peers.
Associates.
And the person that I'm closest to of that group is Catalina. And so I'm running to find her now.
Okay,
I'm like,
nice.
screw this guy. I'm running to find her.
Nice.
You're running to find Catalina. You know that she spends most of her time having to do stuff at the temple. So you're heading towards the festival square because on the other side of that, towards the northeast, through the market square, through the festival square, through the market square is the temple. And you take off. Mm-hmm. Neza. What do you do when you get home?
Okay, so I walk in through the entrance of the yurt, and I left with my grandfather's body earlier in the morning, so I remember. And there are all of the tools of the trade in the sort of preparation of the body out, strewn about, and the stone slab is there, and again I think of Elitsa, and there's like almost an overwhelming desire to go find her, and I push that down. And as I'm standing there, the thing that I notice is out of the corner of my eye, there's this crude sort of brass mirror that we have there. And I catch a glimpse of myself, and I look like my grandfather. And there's something about this morning that feels like it's the first time I felt like I know what to do, like I belong here. And I take my hair down so that I look more like my grandfather. And I stand there for a second, and then I think, where the hell could this be? And I go to his room, his part of the place to find this armor.
Okay, give me I would like an investigation check.
I know, it's hard to pick.
17.
Nice.
Yes.
17.
That's a winner, baby.
Yeah. Well, that rolled so bad. So
Making up for lost time.
Yeah.
A change is definitely coming over you. And you remember, do you know exactly where what you're looking for is, or are
I think that I remember catching my grandfather. It's not quite a floorboard because it's on solid dirt, but I remember catching my grandfather after she passed, underneath his sleeping mat, almost like kneeling in reverence to this place. And when I walked in, there was a collection of dirt, and he told me to go.
So you know what you're looking for, but you haven't seen it with your own eyes. Your only clue is remembering the relationship that your grandfather had to something that seemed to be incredibly meaningful to him.
Yeah.
And that, at this moment, is all that you need.
Yeah.
You don't need to have had your eyes on the object to know where it is that it's hidden, because you've had your eyes on the man that you care so much about. And suddenly, whether you are noticing it for the first time or whether it's sinking in a brand new, more meaningful way, you know exactly where this thing is, and you go exactly to it. And what do you find?
I pull aside his sleeping mat, and it still smells like him, and that catches me off guard, but it inspires me to keep, as I know I'm moving in the right direction here. And when I do, I find it covered by a sort of straw mat, and I pull that aside, and there's a crevice in the ground, and in it, the first thing I notice is this gleaming, not quite gold, but almost gold, chainmail armor, and etched into it is a coyote, the face of a coyote on the front. And I pull it out, and I remember that this didn't fit me, that it was like I was swimming in it when I first tried to put it on, when my grandmother was alive. And I become keenly aware that it will fit me now, and that it might even be a little snug. And I put that on, and I think it feels almost like it's made to measure, like it just kind of sinks in a little bit. And I look down, and there is this weapon that is a long sword, essentially, but with serrated edges, and they resemble hummingbird wings sticking out. And I grab the sword, and it doesn't feel like I'm holding it for the first time. It feels like an extension of my arm. And I remember the lessons, and I remember Leo. And a few things happen in my brain at the same time, and she was the person who took care of us yesterday. She was in charge, and she was activated, and she was mobilized, and I know I have to find her. And I hold the sword down, and I go to leave, and I catch a glimpse in the mirror, and it feels right. And I take one last look at the yurt, and I see the tools that I was using. And I notice the oil, and it triggers another memory. My grandmother used to tell me that in the time before, we would burn the bodies, because that same oil that's a preservative is also flammable. And I think I need to grab as much of this oil as possible. So I do, and then I think I need to find Catalina, because that's where I get the oil, because we have to stop this from happening. And with that, I turn with the oil that I've collected, maybe two sort of pouches, bags, or what's that called, like canteens full of this oil, and it's not enough, I know that, so I need to find my friends.
You gather your materials, your supplies, and you start to head out, and something, almost as if it's crawling up your spine or something, you feel. Is it a memory? Is it happening now? What's real? What isn't? It's almost as if you can feel Elitza lying on the slab. Do you look back, or do you press forward?
She's gone. I go forward.
You move forward back into the town.
And I'd like to say, just before we go, I'm not running because this is the first time he belongs in this town.
You leave the yurt that is your home and you go back into the town of Alma that is still vibrating with this excitement. But you wearing this armor are going to be catching some attention. And there's definitely people that look at you and look you up and down. And there's a kind of surprise. Give me a charisma check.
Oh.
It's not a persuasion exactly.
19.
19.
Nice.
Your sense of belonging isn't simply coming from within you. It is clearly coming at you from the outside. There are people that are looking you up and down with a kind of admiration. And you do see Nemetse. Nemetse is who is in charge of a druid, and Nemetse with his partner Valdez are the ones that cultivate the coffee.
Heck yeah.
Nemetse is in charge of the different groves, not just coffee plants, but other plants, and he's always running around as if he doesn't have enough time to tend to all of his responsibilities. And what we all know is that when he gathers the coffee beans, he sends them over to his partner Valdez, who is tiefling in appearance, has a stall in the festival square where he basically sits back and constantly conjures a bonfire and roasts the coffee that inevitably makes its way, well, would absolutely make its way to your grandfather. And the Nemetse almost runs into you. And he says, oh, well, look at you. This belonged to someone in your family, did it not?
It was my grandmother's.
That is right. Wow. Neza. Neza the coyote. And he looks at the coyote emblem on your armor. And he reaches into his pocket and then he hands you a bag of freshly ground, freshly roasted coffee. I believe you enjoyed the coffee just as much as your grandfather, did you not?
Yes, but not as much as Elitsa. Have you seen her this morning?
Well, Elitsa, yes, she came to me because she was picking up some freshly roasted coffee. She had a sense of urgency to her and it said very few words and went on her way. She was very specific though. She demanded the best roast of this morning, as if there is any roast that isn't less than the best, but I gave her what she wanted and then she went off.
Thank you, Valdez. And I'm going to just take a pinch and chew on it a little bit.
You do, and I will take note of it.
Oh,
What?
caffeinated condition. A new condition that we invented just now.
And then Nemetse quickly kind of returns to his sort of frazzled self, and he's like, oh, I have so much that I need to do because, and then he just takes off.
And I watch him go, and I take in the town for a moment. And then I say to the Kundalera, I'm coming. I just need a little bit more time, but I'm coming.
A wind picks up and moves right past you, and you recall something from the battle at the gift. As Nemetse leaves, you remember, with Elitsa in your arms, as tunnel-visioned as you were, suddenly you remember walking past his crumpled body. And we head towards where we expect Catalina to be, towards the temple.
Oh,
While I was making my way to town, would I be in proximity to where they were running, or is it? I mean, I wouldn't know they were running there, but am I in proximity to that?
Interestingly enough, heading towards the festival square is from where you are towards the northeast east.
Yeah.
So you are coming from the south.
Yes.
And Leo, you are also coming from the south. And you're heading towards the festival square. You're heading towards the festival square. And from there, we move back to Catalina and Arden on the heels of
He's really
Koja.
fast. I've never seen him run so fast
barreling
before.
through. You do arrive to the scalesmith, the blacksmith, Tails' residence and his workshop. It's right on the edge of it's on the edges of the festival square, and it takes you no time really to catch up. But you do have a couple moments there by yourself. Is there something that you
Is
do?
Teo there?
Teo is there. You see Teo working excitedly, and whereas he would always be working away at the scales, the Atapaima scales that he then shapes into all the various weapons and armor and jewelry that is worn across Alma, you see him just clearing space. He's taking a lot of the stuff that's already been made and he's moving it off to the side, and he's got a giant table in the center, and he's just making space is what you see. Is there anything you do?
Yes. I go up to Teo and I say, Teo, amigo, I need to redeem a favor from you.
Koja, it is so nice to see you. What do you mean?
Of course, yes, hello.
Have you come to lend a hand? I know that you really like getting your hands dirty, and I do think that, well, first of all, I'm endlessly in your debt. As you start to see how he has been organizing things, it's everything that you have suggested to him.
Mm-hmm.
So this place, which was utter chaos and disarray before you came in and helped him, now is not only well organized, but he's learned from you. And he is moving things away and he's stacking things in their proper order.
The feng shui is correct.
The feng shui is correct. And then he just he looks at you and he says, "I'm so sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. What do you need?"
No, at that moment, just Teo's like reaction to that has made me very aware too of like this sweating, gross person barging through the blacksmith shop and like demanding something right away, and I get very shy all of a sudden, and I like sort of fidget with my glasses, and I'm like, disculpe, okay. Remember when I helped you reorganize the blacksmith place, the forge?
Of course.
And as a favor, you made a staff for me.
Of course I remember.
Yes, and I turned it down.
I also remember.
Yes. I'm here to take it. Do you happen to know where you put
He
it?
just puts his hand up with a gesture of hold on 1 second, and he moves right into a back room and immediately comes out with this beautifully crafted staff. Is this what you're looking for?
Yes, the one you made for me, the one decorated in jewels and has the eagle on top.
And he, as you're talking, he hands it right to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been waiting for you this entire time.
Thank you.
I did have a couple people come and express interest in it, but
It's beautifully made.
why, thank you. That's why it's been in the back. Is there anything else that you need? I'm expecting, it's the Festival of Abundance, and when we get the Atapaima scales, it's going to open up a lot of work for us to do. If you're interested in lending a hand.
I'd like to do an insight check on Teo.
Yeah.
Also to check to see if he looks older, different.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. That's a 17.
Excellent. You're already kind of measuring him against what you noticed in Odessa and what you noticed in Juancho. Juancho looks completely the same except for that sort of inner substance that you noticed. That was different. Teo looks pretty the same. You do notice that something might be slightly different in his in his demeanor. He seems a little bit more tired, is what you notice. And even in thinking back to the man that you saw at the gift with a giant arapaima slung over his shoulders, the only person in Alma strong enough to go and pick up one of these on his own, even though it's difficult. Even what you saw, he seems even in this present moment, earlier in the day, just a little bit more tired than you saw him at the end of a day's work. And that's what you noticed.
Yeah. This is a lot to ask. I need the gift to not happen.
Can you explain a little bit more, please? The gift is there, it's happened, it exists.
I know, but we can't be a part of it.
You mean the festival?
Yes, the festival. What if I told you that I feel like this day has happened?
Persuasion check, please.
Every time.
Please believe me.
Every time.
Please believe me. It's a 4.
That, as the words leave you, you sort of see Teo's attention kind of check out.
Yeah.
And he then comes back to you, and you can tell that he just didn't really hear what you said.
Sure.
And he's looking around and thinking, you can see behind his eyes, he's got a lot on his mind. And he just says, I'm so sorry, mijo. I just, there's so much I need to do in preparation for the day. But the gift, the festival, yes, we're all looking forward to Elder Adhan and the horn that will call us all towards the gift. And I'm sure I will see you there.
Yes. One thing. Just prepare yourself.
What do you mean?
Bring your best weapon. Bring armor. You never know what might happen.
He steps back and he grabs this giant hammer.
Yes.
And he says, well, you know I never leave without this.
Oh.
Good.
And in that moment, though, he does look at you and he says, something is troubling you. Maybe a little bit of work later on will be the cure.
Yes.
And at that moment, Arden, following Catalina, you would now show up. You're in front of Teos because you've been able. You saw where Koja ended up.
Catalina?
Hi.
Arden?
Arden.
Hi.
Arden, would you...
Also out of breath.
Yeah. Could you just, I was looking for a shield. Could you just maybe take a look inside and see if there's any good shields? I'm in the market for a new shield.
And you're looking at Arden? Yeah. I mean, Teo we have a relationship with Teo. I'm sure he has got...
Yeah,
I got
let me know
this.
what you see in there.
Do you think I should have a shield too?
Yeah, yes.
Should I also go check?
No. I have a question for you.
Okay, shields. And he walks inside. Arden walks inside to go and engage Teo over shield.
I'm going to be dumb, and I want to do an insight check on Catalina.
Yeah. I guess I'll do an insight check too.
It's giving weird energy, and I need to know.
I'll give an insight check too.
Okay.
14.
14, 17. I think that you each are having a pretty good read on each other, so I'll let you share what it is that the other's picking up on.
What is happening?
I don't know. Okay, so you know it too.
I don't understand what is
I
happening.
don't understand what's going on. You remember yesterday.
Yes,
And yesterday was today, and you remember today.
You remember
I go with it, yes, I remember yesterday.
Yesterday is today. It's happening
It's
today.
happening again. Okay, what have you done so far?
Grab the weapon.
Okay, great.
Great.
I plan to fight. What
Great,
have you
same.
been doing?
I've been trying to see. I don't know. I was trying to figure out what's going on. And
Are we the only people?
I don't know. So you remember, and I remember.
Yes.
Okay, and you have weapons.
Does Arden remember?
No, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't. He definitely doesn't.
Hell doesn't remember. Odessa doesn't. No one I've talked to remembers, but they feel different. Does Arden feel different?
Yeah. He's very,
he's very like attentive but that's always kind of been something that I've noticed about him, but like especially today. Sorry. I don't know. I'm not sure. I asked the high priestess some stuff and she was weirdly like interested in talking to me,
Was
which
she
doesn't normally
different?
happen. It just seems okay, there was one really weird thing. A butterfly came out of my chest. And then
A butterfly?
Yeah, and then it disappeared. I don't
Wait,
know
there
if
were butterflies yesterday, Evan.
I know. So it's all connected
What
somehow.
could that mean?
I don't know. But okay,
Why are we the only people that
I
remember?
don't know. Do you think it's just random?
It can't possibly be.
There's no way.
And in that moment, Arden comes out and he's like, there's a couple of different shields that he has.
Great. This is I will go.
Can you go look for shields for me as well?
You want one too?
Yes.
I don't know. Are we allowed? And Arden turns to Catalina and he says, are we, he's not part of the acolytes and I don't know if he's a hunter. Am I supposed to, should I get him?
I think
Because I know that we have access to their armory.
I think it would be helpful. I think it would be helpful.
Because you're friends with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
And then he goes right
he
back.
might be interested in joining the church.
Oh. Huh. And
We could, he's strong.
Oh, Arden, it takes him a little while to download that.
Yeah.
It's a lot to put together.
Yeah.
He turns to look at you, and as he looks at you one more time, one of the curls on his forehead just sort of bounces back and forth.
I like
and
tuck it
settles.
behind his ear.
And he lets you. He kind of freezes as you do that, and then goes right back inside.
Okay.
And from there, we go to the streets, heading towards the market square. Leo, you're heading towards where you expect to find Catalina. And Neza, you're heading towards where you expect to find Catalina. And of course, in the small town, eventually you're going to find yourselves along the same path. A perception check. I want to see who notices who first.
Ooh. Intriguing.
17 for Leo.
It's her.
Good perception.
It's her.
Leo, you notice Neza heading seemingly towards the same direction, wearing a very different set of armor, whereas he wasn't wearing any armor before. And what do you do?
Neza! I run up to him.
Same day, right?
Yes, my dad
Still alive?
is alive.
Lisa's still alive. Do you remember we saw someone, I don't know how to explain it other than like suck their soul out?
Yes.
I think if that happens, they don't come back.
Have you found anyone that happened to yet?
I don't think so.
All I know, I have no idea what's happening. You're honestly the first person to tell me it's the same day. All I know is I woke up, my dad was alive, and this piece of paper I found in Eliseo's house, it was in my pocket from the night before.
And he's not there?
No, I went back and looked, and I feel like I've missed him, and I don't know. And he's the one I heard in my head, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that was a dream, if this is a dream.
I have something to tell you, and it's gonna, actually in light of yesterday or today, I guess, probably won't seem that crazy, but I hear voices. Not just what we heard yesterday, but I think my ancestors are talking to me. And I think Eliseo, if you can hear him, then this, Leo, I have always felt trapped here, like I didn't belong, like I was trapped. And you remember we saw the fractals and whatever was on the other side there, right?
Yes.
I think whatever's on the other side is real. And this is an in-between place.
I hope you're wrong. I hope there's a way to save everyone.
Me too.
But part of me's afraid you're right.
Me too.
Is that what the armor is about?
Do you remember this?
No.
This was my grandmother's.
Oh.
I wore it a couple of times when we sparred, but I swam in it and now it kind of fits.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have to find... I don't know why I'm going to Catalina. She's the one that I talked to the most before this happened, and I feel like if you know, maybe other people know that this is happening. Maybe we can gather a group, forces, something, and try to figure out what's going on.
I think we can't let the Festival of Abundance happen. We have to disturb it somehow. And I think I know how. This is the oil that we use, and it's flammable. And Catalina's the person who gets it for me, and they have jugs of it at the temple. So I think we need to burn the perimeter so that those, what do they call the dogs?
Galejos.
Yeah, so that they can't get to the people, and we keep everyone else out, and whatever happens inside, we deal with it.
You want to set the town on fire?
If we wake up and it's the same tomorrow, I don't think it's any better, right?
Fair enough, let's go.
Yeah. Hey, you took care of us yesterday. I trust you. So whatever you tell me to do, I do.
It's a group effort. Let's go. And we're gonna keep running, I guess, in the direction we were headed.
Yep. You at this point, while you were moving and talking, and you found your way into the festival square, and it's at that moment when you continue to head towards the temple where you expect to find Catalina that somebody else approaches you. But we're going back to Koja and Catalina. Arden is still inside.
Okay, all right, we have a couple more minutes, I imagine, before he comes back. He keeps finding me very quickly, which is interesting.
Arden doesn't know.
No, he
But
doesn't.
Arden fought with us.
Yes,
I'm just trying to make sense of
I
all of
understand.
it.
I don't know. I don't know.
A cadejo. While we were being attacked. I was able to communicate with it, I think. And I sensed that it smelled blood. And that's why it
attacked.
the festival.
What's it?
Arden pops out.
Ah!
Okay, so I like this one.
Yes.
Arden, leave!
Are we leaving?
We're leaving.
Okay, where are we going next?
We're gonna go some.
Here's a shield.
I'm like sort of shaking my hands and be
Is
like,
this one good?
help. Yes, thank you. I just take the shield from
I'm
him.
gonna say something that's gonna sound kind of crazy. I think we've lived this day before.
Okay.
And I think it's happening again. And the last time it went really badly. And so we're gonna try to stop it from happening this time.
Okay.
Do you remember yesterday? And was it...
I never remember when someone asked me. I feel like I'm on the spot. Yesterday,
I don't think he remembers.
I remember waking up, and then I had to go and I cleaned my reliefs, and then I went and cleaned yours.
Yes.
Because I do that every morning.
Yes, every morning.
And then you went and had to take that. No, I don't. I mean, I guess I don't know. Whatever. I mean, yesterday was
had
just a
to
day
take-
like it was a fine day.
But it wasn't the Festival of Abundance yesterday?
No, the Festival of Abundance is well, we are on the brink of it,
Right.
but we are waiting to see if Elder Adhan sounds the horn, and then that marks the beginning of the Festival of Abundance.
Where's Elder Arhan right now? Where is Elder Arhan, do you think?
Should be at the
We should... Yes.
Yes!
He's at the gift. He's already
at the gift?
He's waiting for.
Are there horses? Do we have horses?
We do.
Okay.
Do you
very
know how to
few.
ride a horse?
I think I can figure it
There's a
out.
stable. I mean, yeah, there's
We
a stable
should-
near the temple.
We should go.
I've never
Quickly.
ridden a
We only
horse
have
before.
the
It's
horses.
okay.
Wait. The horses are usually reserved for.
We just need to
La, la,
talk
la,
to...
I don't need to know whatever it is that you guys are doing, but I know that the horses are not meant to be for us. They're meant to be for certain special circumstances.
This was a very special circumstance.
Shall we go to the horses?
We shall go to the horses.
Let's go to the horses.
Let's go to the Arden. I know you have other things that you have to do today. I have to do this. If you would like to come with us, you can.
Yeah, I want to go. This
Okay,
is
great. Come with us.
different
Awesome,
and
great.
exciting.
This is exciting. It is exciting, isn't it? Okay, let's go get the horses.
So you start to then move. You have a shield. If you haven't equipped that yet,
Yes,
you should.
I will.
I think I already, let me see.
You have a shield.
I have a shield, so
And
we'll just say it's a different color.
and you also know where your armor is.
Yes.
And it is back at the temple. But it's also on the way to the stables.
Wonderful. I'm just gonna
Pretty
make a
much.
quick
It's all
stop
along
for
the
my
north.
armor, and I'll be right back.
And I'm gonna go into the temple and grab my armor really
No, I'll
quick.
go with
Okay, great.
You're
Come with me.
moving.
You know what? Everybody, just come with me. Great.
From Tails, you start to move back towards the festival square because you got to go through that and then up towards the north to get to where everybody essentially is kind of on their way. And perception check. I want to see who notices who first.
Oh,
Yes.
it ain't me.
That is a 18.
13 for now.
18, 13, 11,
2.
18. You spot, immediately, you spot Leo and Neza.
Okay.
And you spot them the moment that they notice Azune. The other hunter, who was approaching the two of you. And in this moment where you're all in close proximity to each other, as everything is catching up to you, you become aware of something else. You suddenly feel a little bit more focused, a little bit stronger, almost as if it finally dawns on you that you had gained a level. Level 2. So, you're all now in the same vicinity. You notice them first. You, Catalina, notice them first, Leo and Neza. What do?
Neza's wearing armor.
Why are you stopping?
Neza's wearing armor.
Huh?
Neza's in town.
Where?
Right over there. And he's talking to Leo. They never talk to each other.
No. Why is it? Let's go talk to
Okay,
them.
great. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Neza.
Quolla.
Leo,
Catalina?
Same day?
same day.
Same day?
Yes.
Wait. Have you talked to anybody else about this?
Yes. Well, not about this, but I've seen a few people who died yesterday.
Yes.
They're not dead yet.
My father's still alive.
Does he remember?
No.
Are we the only
Is
ones?
Nico still? Did Nico get born?
Nico was born, yes.
Okay, that's great.
While this is happening, you notice that unusually, Azune would have been right there clocking with this conversation, the substance of this conversation, but Arden has already pulled him to the side and is already apologetically saying, well, I mean, I know that Azune, I know that Koja, he has a shield that looks like it should be a shield that's assigned to the acolytes, but I just want to let you know that it was, and so Arden is distracting Azune,
Amazing.
already trying to get ahead of
Amazing.
apologizing for what he did, which is supply someone that shouldn't have access to a shield meant for an acolyte, a shield. So for a moment, the four of you are truly having a private conversation. Arden is distracting Azune.
Probably have about 2 minutes.
Here's all I know. After yesterday, today, whatever, I went to Eliseo's house. It was empty except for a piece of paper on the bed, which I woke up with.
Okay.
And my dad is still alive.
Okay.
So I have no idea.
What does the paper say?
Nothing. It's blank.
Wait, let me see.
Arcana check all around.
Yeah, no problem. Please. 14.
13.
14, 13? 6.
4.
As you are showing the paper that's blank, 13?
Yeah.
14.
14.
Catalina. You sense a hint of magic, but you can't quite tell if this is magic that's currently on there or if this was residual magic. You just get a sense that at some point with this paper, there was some kind of magical tie.
This is magic.
What?
It's magic. I don't know what kind, and I don't know how old it is, but this is somehow interacted with magic, which I imagine means that there's probably a message of some kind that we can't see.
What kind of magic is it?
I'm not, I know the school, right? Because that's,
You'll have to cast
that'd be
detect
like, that'd be
magic.
have to detect magic.
So get that.
don't
You just get a
have-
sense of arcana energy, and you don't know if it's current or you don't know if it's residual. You're not sure.
I'm not certain.
The only other thing, I left him a note, and then the note is gone. And so I don't know, this is the only tether I have to yesterday. And part of me thinks that
And it's
he has
still
something-
with you.
Yes. That's why I don't know if he has something to do with it, if he also remembers, but I missed him and this is all I have.
Does
we
anyone
can't
else
lose
have any
this.
tethers?
Colindera. I spoke with him yesterday, and she spoke with me again today. She told me to see her this morning.
Wait, you saw her?
No, but she spoke with me. Yeah, I hear things.
I do too.
Didn't she say to come find her at first light?
Yeah.
Isn't this first light? Or, I mean, I don't know.
We have to see her, but we also have to stop
We have to get the horn.
the horn.
The horn that announces the beginning of the festival. We have to get horses, and we have to go, and we have to get to the elder before he gets to town. We have to steal that horn.
What do you mean you have to what? And at this point, Azune has overheard a portion of the conversation.
I just like slap the piece of paper against Leo's body.
And I just grab it and put it in my pocket.
What is happening here? What is happening?
One of the kids, they put something in the horn, and we have to warn. Them that if they blow into it, it's probably going to have some repercussions.
One of the kids has put something in the horn.
Yes.
The horn that is with Elder Arhan, that
can
he's
be very
meant to
dangerous.
sound. Deception check.
Please roll high.
Yes, that's a 16 on the die, but I have high deception. That's a
Yes.
+3, so 19.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Hide deception. How'd you learn how to lie like that?
It's the charisma,
Hold,
baby.
please, while I pull up
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
stats. Oh, they're right here. Because it's going to be contested.
Backup plan. We just knock them out.
Yeah, right.
Let me...
Later.
¿Dónde estás, Azune? Okay. You got a 19? All right. Let's see. He is looking at you and he's nodding along. And you can see that as you're talking, Azune in his mind is starting to put together. And he kind of lets out this exhale and he says, "Oh, I have an idea. I know who it was that might have been responsible for this. So, okay, Elder Arhan, listen, thank you for telling me. I'll take care of this." And he heads off.
Azune,
Yes.
I can't tell you how I know this, but there are cadejos, and they are circling Alma, and they are on the hunt, and they are coming. And I think your attention is best focused there. We will handle the horn, but you need to sound the alarm because they are coming.
He's telling the truth.
Have you seen Eliseo today?
No, I have not. Have you, Leo, seen Eliseo?
No.
Huh, that is very unusual for him. He has failed to show up to a number of things that he was expected at this morning, but you're saying cadejos. And where are we expected to find them?
On the path to the gift.
That is highly unusual. They don't usually appear there. Persuasion check from you, Neza, at advantage because I'm going to consider Leo providing the help action.
I don't know if I can, so I'm asking. Can I cast guidance on myself?
I can cast guidance on you if you need it.
Yes, you can cast guidance, but to me, guidance is in moments like this, if you're anticipating doing something, then you can announce that in anticipation of that I'm going to cast guidance. I don't treat it like it's a reaction. Okay. So in this moment, he's already receiving what you're saying. Guidance would have happened after this moment has passed.
Cool. Fair enough. What am I rolling?
Persuasion.
13 plus 3, 16.
16. Okay, great. He's taking all this in and he's keeping up. And he says, Cadejos at the gift. Leo, you're supporting what Neza is saying.
Yes.
Well, then we should prepare for that. I will let the hunters know and I will let the acolytes know that when we move north towards the gift, that we are to be on high alert and we're to be well equipped. I will spread that word. What is it that you're planning on doing then at the gift with the elder?
We think so. We need to get the horn, and it shouldn't happen
They've put explosives in the horn, is what Neza was saying.
I don't understand why anybody would do this.
It's a practical joke. Gone terribly wrong.
Okay, well, there's not enough time to debate this, so I'm going to move forward, taking you all at your word.
Azune, people will die. If you don't take this seriously, they will die.
And he looks at every single one of you, one at a time. And you can tell that he doesn't quite know what to make of what's happening right now, but he is understanding that there is a very urgent, weighted way about you all. I will do what I can. And he sets off. And you're left here, the four of you with Arden.
Okay, now what do we do?
Oil. We
Okay.
need oil from the temple, lots of it.
Okay. Why?
We're gonna burn the town down.
So
Burn
wait,
the town.
I think
Well,
we need
just
to
the
organize our
perimeter.
thoughts a little bit. So we think the horn will stop people from going to the festival.
It won't announce
Well,
the
it won't
beginning of the
signal
festival.
them, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So we could pursue that. And you're saying the curandera is asking you to go see her.
Yes.
We've heard that already yesterday, today, again.
Also, Catalina has mentioned that a butterfly burst from your chest?
Yeah.
In a vision, I assume.
It felt pretty real.
Monarch? Mm-hmm. That's the curandera. The curandera.
I think I've been hearing her voice too.
Are you sure it's her voice and not, I don't know.
Who else would it be?
I mean, I've been hearing Eliseo, but maybe we go to her
You've been hearing Eliseo's voice in your head?
all of yesterday. I kept hearing it as if he was right behind me, right next to me. We heard it together at one moment.
We did.
And so I have no idea if he's doing it on purpose or if it's part of this weird deja vu.
So where do we go to find La Curandera?
Yeah.
I think the butterfly field. Right? That makes sense.
The Monoka?
Yes.
We don't have time to do everything because he's going to sound that horn.
Why don't we send someone to the elder as well? Azune is taking care of the carejos, and the hunters will be
Ready.
strong enough and ready to deal with that.
He's not going to let that horn go easily.
Can you catch me up a little bit? I don't. And Arden has been there and starting
Yeah.
to overhear what's happening.
Arden, there's going to be an attack at the path to the gift, and a lot of people are going to die. And we're trying to figure out how we can stop it.
Arden is taking this in, and you see him kind of disengage for a moment, and you, Catalina, can tell that a lot of the math is finally starting to add up for him as he is putting together earlier interactions and earlier clues as well. I would like a persuasion check from you,
you
and
got it.
I will allow advantage because you as a group are all holding strong and holding
right.
together.
You got this. All right, persuasion +4, that is an 18.
18. Okay. Arden kind of takes a step back and he takes a breath and he says, I feel like I am starting to understand what it is that you are all, what you're trying to say. And I don't remember yesterday because again, when I'm put on the spot, I'm not going to remember what I did
It's
an
really
hour
hard
ago.
to figure out because it's like what every day kind of feels the same, especially in the temple.
You would
'cause we all have
remember
the,
yesterday.
Okay. I believe you. I believe you. I will do what I can. If you're gonna go somewhere else and you need me to take care of something, then maybe there's someone else that can go with me. Neza, as you were saying. You want me to head towards the gift and stop Elder Arhan from sounding the horn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Will that buy us enough time?
How-
Everyone's prepared to fight.
I have a question. How far is everything? Like if we were riding
Yeah.
Like, how far is it to the gift and back to the meadow? Like, is that like an all-day affair?
History check, please.
Ooh.
7.
All around.
All right, you got it.
Help me.
And if, in this moment, if you're actively trying to remember something, those of you that have guidance, if you're deliberately like setting forth to perceive something or to recall something, you can in that moment activate guidance on yourself or somebody else because you see what you're about to do the check for coming.
So I rolled a 17 on the die.
Okay.
In that moment, I see a flicker, and I try and find it, and it's a golden hummingbird, and I cast guidance on myself.
Nice.
Excellent.
And that's a D4.
D4. Yeah.
That's a 3, so that's a 20 plus 2 is 22.
22 total here. History check, yes?
I rolled a nat 1, so I'm not going to waste it. I know it's a cantrip,
for
but
me.
there's no point.
Yeah.
16.
16.
7.
16, 7. 16 for Koja and above 20 for Neza. Koja, collectively, what you recall then, because of the success that we got here with Neza, you remember the time of day yesterday when the horn was about to sound, and it's getting close to that time. You can recall, you, Koja, know that the time is near. Neza, you were more specifically able to ascertain that it's got to be within the next 30 to 45 minutes. And it's going to take, it takes longer to get to where Elder Adhan is.
We're not
On
going to
foot.
be able to convince him to let us take the horn or stop.
The horn will sound.
Yeah, I think we need to prevent people from going to the gift.
Well, I was able to have a collection of children to stall this
That's great.
festival.
That's great. Good idea.
I mean, I don't know when they're doing it because I should have specified at what time and I didn't. But I think Juancho has a plan.
If
Can I? Okay, you have the soil.
And you need to suit up.
Does
yeah, you're right.
Does anyone have the ability to cast fire?
Well, I know how to start fire.
Because what I can do, here's what I think there's something that's calling us to the curandera. I know we don't want to get people to go to the festival. Maybe these children will help. But if I can dip my arrow in the oil and set it on fire, I can set one building on fire, not the whole town. Something that
I can
doesn't
light
kill
or
people.
snuff a candle, a torch, or a campfire.
Okay.
Great.
So I can light an arrow.
Assuming we have to do this all again tomorrow,
Right.
and we're learning the rules of this thing. Everything's going to be here tomorrow. There's a lot of oil in the temple. Why don't we just light the temple on fire?
Wait, you have to remember
I still have
that
things from
piece of
yesterday.
paper was a constant. So we don't know what repercussions is going to happen.
I think we need more information, and the most minimal damage we can do to buy ourselves time, we can try that, but I think we need to gather as much information as possible, and both of you are getting signs from the same place.
But we need to, whatever we do has to be big enough to stop people from going to the gift. Not just
Fire
buy
in
us
the
time.
temple would do it.
Are you okay with that, Catalina?
As long as it wouldn't hurt anybody.
Yes.
Are there scrolls, things that we would lose?
Yes, but are those more important than lives?
No, but
We can write scrolls.
All right. Well, how long will it take us to get to the curandera?
If you are intending to go to the Monarch Meadows, then it is 30 minutes from here, maybe 45 minutes.
By horse?
On foot.
By horse?
By horse, if you
Or
buy
alpaca.
horses,
Or alpaca?
you'll definitely. If you're on a mounted creature, you'll cut that time in half.
Okay.
And we're close to the temple.
You're close to the temple. And the temple is not far from the stables.
Okay.
Well, you need to go to the temple.
I need to, yeah, I'm gonna, we should head to the temple. I need to get my armor. But we should probably do that soon.
If you guys think so.
I think so.
I think it's the best idea we have at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the temple or we burn the stables, and I don't think burning the stables is going to
It's
stop
not gonna be enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, we'll go to the temple.
Oof.
Arden hasn't left yet. He's following you.
This is insane.
He's heard everything. And he's staying quiet.
Arden, what do you think?
I think that what I'm noticing is that you are all very, very scared and very determined. And I don't remember the last time I felt anybody like this, let alone a group of people that seem to all be agreeing on something that to me sounds insane. But I trust you, Catalina.
I trust you too.
And I don't want to see anybody get hurt. And if you think for sure that something bad is going to happen at the gift, then I'll do whatever it takes to help you.
Thank you.
And you head to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Catalina, you know exactly where your supplies are. It'll
yeah.
take you very little time for you to go and at least get the armor and whatever other materials you
And
have.
I think it occurs to me in this moment how quickly I know how to put it on. That's probably something that we practice all the time.
Absolutely. And Arden is doing the same exact thing. And as you go inside, you notice that a lot of the acolytes aren't there.
Yeah, because we're out in town doing ceremony
stuff.
Things.
And
I have one question.
yes,
Is the statue of the mother that's on my desk facing towards the room or towards the wall?
Clever.
yes, because you're going all the way back into your quarters, which is where your stuff is. The statue
Because I turned it away last night.
is facing the room.
Okay.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh no! No!
But the only thing that is the
paper.
note from him.
Because it's probably magic.
And the one I left.
It's him.
I caught
Oh boy, that's just a 7. It's just a little 7. Just a little 7.
7 is the best prime number.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
agree.
Yeah, it looks the same.
Yeah, it does, I bet. It looks the same, doesn't it? All right. Okay, so I get on my armor. I think I take just a quick look at myself in the mirror as well, and it's just so different. Everything feels so different in a scary way. But I also think there is a little tiny bit of me that is pretty excited about this.
And with that, you quickly move in, quickly come out. The group has come back together. What do you do? The temple is right in front of you.
Hey, the oil. Do you know where you keep it?
I do.
Can you take me to it?
Of course.
Okay.
You want to?
Do I need to shoot it?
No, I think you can light it from here. I'm gonna leave
I'll
it
take him to the storage room or where we store all the supplies and things.
Right, it's empty. The temple, there's nobody here, like I said. Arden will be at your side unless you tell him otherwise.
Yeah, Arden can stay with me.
And
How many jugs are in there of this oil?
I think there is a good barrel size, but imagine that they're made of clay. So there's these giant jugs of clay, and there's about a dozen of them.
Okay.
It takes us a long time to make these. Sorry. I wish we had more in this situation, but
I think it'll all be here tomorrow.
yeah, I think you're right.
Let's cover everything that we can in this
Yeah.
and lead a line to Leo so that she can spark it.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think I take if there's like a fabric or do I still have the clay bowl with me from this morning?
I
think I do, yeah,
It's a
so
small bowl. You could have had it on you.
Yeah.
You could have been carrying
I
it with
take
you.
the clay bowl and I scoop up some oil and I start dousing the room and I just kind of doing that process.
Great. Are you trying to be meticulous with it? Like you could create like a line, a trail.
I think it's
or
pretty splashy.
Great.
I think I don't. It's just like, yeah, we gotta.
You do
So,
that.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence.
I take one of these and I just take the whole thing and start
Knock it
dousing it,
over.
That would
everywhere.
have been faster.
Seeing
been
that
faster.
happen, Arden jumps in and starts to help you with that as well. And it's done its job in just a couple of minutes. Do you head back outside to join the
Yeah,
other two?
I think, and then I give a signal. Do
Can
it.
I take a moment
Yes.
to, while that's happening, I'm looking at the statue. I would like to see if I can connect with the earth here. This is a holy temple.
Yes.
Something that Koja's not really familiar with, doesn't really involve himself with. But there, I do remember that moment of the sort of earth tugging at me.
Yeah.
And I want to get the sense of like, is there nature here? What is the energy here? Is it different from when I felt yesterday when I was communicating with nature, when I fully activated my druid sensibilities?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a nature check while you are assessing this from within the temple.
Mysterious.
13.
13, great. You're standing inside of the temple, and what stands out to you in this moment are the stained glass panels that run up high along the north, south, east, and west sides. And you notice the depictions on these images: a jaguar, an eagle, a viper, and a rabbit. In each of these panels, a story unfolding slightly differently with the same cast of animal characters. With you got a 14, was it?
13.
A 13.
Or 14.
With that, with your 13, you do feel a sense of something underneath the earth. It's not quite the same. It's not being tapped into in the same way, but you get the sense that the temple itself isn't completely devoid. It's still connected in some way, shape, or form to the natural world. And give me a religion check.
The most astounding number one could get, which is a 3.
Astounding.
Something about the stained glass panels start to catch your attention, but before you can devote any more attention to that, the others have come to join you, and you can smell the oil in the air. And
I see that hummingbird flicker, and it lands on Leo's shoulder, and I cast guidance.
I do druidcraft, and I just light the tip of her arrow. It's a little flame.
And she's just gonna aim and look at Catalina and say, okay, and just release it at the temple.
standing on the outside, looking at the temple, a place that has stood the test of time in Alma, where a lot of wisdom is kept and a lot of religious and rites of passage happen. The tip of the arrow lights a fire, and it's loosed towards the temple, soars through the air. Little flickers of flame dance off of it, as if they themselves are jumping off of the arrow's flight. And that is where our remembering will linger
Oh,
Come on,
wow.
for now.
really?